You know what, everybody, look, at risk of sounding like what I can only assume you would call a broken record at this point, I have gone on record saying time and time again that I am a sucker for affordable but high quality streaming gear or content creation gear in general, because it opens up the door to this kind of stuff to way more people than what it normally might. Like, not everybody has hundreds or thousands of dollars out there to buy a high quality microphone, webcam, headset, whatever it might be. And as you all know from the videos previously on this channel, my good friends over at FineFine, they do just that. They have a ton of high quality microphones that you don't have to spend hundreds or thousands on to get high quality audio for your streams or just content creation in general. And folks, I'm happy to say that they've done it with one more thing now too. They were kind enough to send me out their brand new H18v Lite headset with detachable noise canceling microphone. And since they asked for honest feedback, y'all know that's exactly what I'm gonna give you guys and gals. Let's check it out. All right here, everybody, now that we're back here at my actual workstation, I figured I would go ahead and show you all how these things work, especially here inside of the FineFine Genie software. I actually am a pretty big fan of this software. I do like it a lot. The fact that you can, split up your audio channels separately like you can in other types of software from the other quote-unquote bigger names out there, that's actually very cool. But the cool thing about this headset, though, folks, that I alluded to a little bit ago, is that you can either use it via the 3.5 millimeter jack the way I am right now, directly into my Stream Deck Plus mixer here, or you can connect it to your PC via this little box right here, and that allows you to connect it via USB. And folks, what this box allows you to have, it allows you to have actual physical hardware buttons to control everything on the headset itself. You have the noise canceling button for the microphone here. For the headset, you have a 7.1 surround sound button. On the side here, you have a knob for the headset volume. You have a knob here for the microphone volume, and then of course you have a physical mic mute button there as well. Now, in case this isn't obvious, the only bad thing about this type of setup is that if you want to use any of these hardware controls, or if you want to use any of the software functionality that is FineFine Genie, whenever you are not using it via USB, you're not going to have access to those type of controls. So just keep that there in mind, okay? But now to actually utilize this here and show you all some stuff here inside the FineFine Genie software, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect this from my mixer and plug straight into USB here, okay? All right, everybody, so now I am speaking to you all not from my SM7B, not from my actual mixer here. This is how this microphone sounds directly out of the box when connected to the H18v Lite here, okay? There is no noise canceling or anything turned on, so you very well could probably hear my fan behind me and also my air conditioner. I do apologize, but hey, it's hot here in the Midwest, okay? Just bear with me for that there. So I do not know how this actually sounds, but I hope it sounds okay. I'm looking here at my meters inside of OBS Studio, and I believe that my microphone is actually turned all the way up here. Like, I'm actually rocking this back and forth here, and it looks like, yeah, it looks like this is totally maxed out for actual input gain, and I'm not peaking, so that's actually a good thing. Check, check, 1, 2, blah, blah, getting louder, getting louder, getting louder. And I still didn't peak. I got pretty close. It peaked at around -6, -5, somewhere in there. But as far as actual too much gain, I think it's okay. But here's the thing that I really want you all to check out here, okay, folks? This is the FineFine Genie software, and this has a feature that I do believe everybody should turn on, just so you are aware of how you sound, okay? And that is the real-time monitor feature here, folks. I cannot stress this here enough to you, okay? Like, I truly, truly cannot. And that is, real-time monitoring is fantastic. So it does exactly what it sounds like. It allows you to hear yourself from your microphone into your headsets, wherever that might be, and it allows you to know how you sound, especially if, let's say that, like, you have this here turned on, you don't know that you're muted because maybe this is like sitting on your desk or something. Well, as long as you have real-time monitoring turned on, even if you don't see the red mute button, if you can't hear yourself, you would know that you're muted. You know what I mean? Or maybe there's some excess background noise coming into your microphone that you wouldn't necessarily know unless you were having that real-time monitoring to get that automatic feedback. You might be saying, like maybe your fan is too loud, maybe your air conditioner is coming through, or maybe your keyboard clicks are coming through your microphone, and it might be annoying your viewers. You know what I mean? you would be able to know that from the real-time monitoring. This is a professional feature that I really wish a lot more people would utilize, and the fact that FineFine allows you to turn that kind of thing on is absolutely fantastic. It really is. But y'all, the biggest thing that I really do want to test out here right now is I want to test out the built-in noise reduction feature, okay? I know that on the software, it's pretty darn good on their other kind of microphones, so I really do want to check out how it does on this here, okay? So what I'm going to do here in real time for you all, okay, is I'm going to just pull up a white noise video here on YouTube. It's what I do in like all of my tests here, okay? So I'm going to go and hit play right now, and just to show you all that everything is turned off here, okay? See, the noise reduction is in fact turned off here, right? So with that being said, everybody, I'm going to go and hit play here now. This is at about, oh, this is at 100% on my Pixel 11 Pro XL here, okay? So this should be sort of kind of coming through because I can definitely hear it in my headset here. So what I'm going to do here, folks, in real time, okay, is I'm going to hit the noise cancellation button, and we are going to see how much this cuts out, if any, here, okay? 3, 2, 1. Okay, well, in my real-time monitoring, it did in fact get a lot quieter, but this is also kind of a worst-case scenario, and I can also hear my voice sort of kind of cutting in and out pretty bad with this feature turned on. But again, though, folks, this is a worst-case scenario that probably no one will ever actually have to deal with wearing this microphone and headset. So how about if I just turn this off like this here, okay? I just turn off that white noise video, and I'll just talk normal like this here for a second to see if maybe if it cuts out the fan behind me, my air conditioner up there, because here to my own ears in my headset, thanks to the real-time monitoring feature here, my voice doesn't sound choppy or robotic or anything now, and I can hear myself coming through pretty darn loud and clear. But hey, what do you all think, huh? Now, with that said, though, folks, I did just go ahead and disable the noise suppression feature here, so now you're hearing what it sounds like out of the box again here, okay? All right, everybody, back to my main setup here now that the microphone portion of this video is now out of the way. And you know what, folks? I actually just got the chance to go listen back to that past recording that I just did for you all. And this little microphone, I actually have to say, I'm pretty darn impressed with it. I really am. I think out of the box, it does sound kind of good, but it sort of kind of has that normal, really high frequency sibilance that a lot of these cheaper microphones have. But as far as the way it sounds, whenever you're not doing a lot of S's or something like that, I think it does sound pretty darn good. And the natural noise rejection of this microphone I thought was pretty good too. During the first part of that white noise test, the noise suppression was not on, and I still felt like the microphone did a pretty darn good job at rejecting that incredibly loud white noise I was playing. And then whenever I turned the noise suppression feature on, it actually got rid of it. Like, it got rid of all of it, and to my ears, and from what I just heard on the playback, it didn't make my voice sound too choppy. It didn't make my voice sound too robotic or anything like that. So whatever kind of algorithm that FineFine is using in their Voice Genie software for noise suppression, I think it does a good job. But as far as overall noise suppression and rejection with this microphone out of the box without turning the noise suppression feature on, I have to say, I'm actually pretty impressed. And honestly here too, folks, if you aren't happy with the way this microphone sounds out of the box, as long as you hook this thing up to your PC via the USB connection, you could actually use, again, the FineFine Genie software to custom EQ this microphone however you want. But out of the box though, at least with my voice, I think it does sound pretty darn good, I'm not gonna lie. And I know that a lot of you out there are also probably wondering about the actual technical specifications of this headset microphone combo. So with that being said here, folks, pause to read right here. And you know, I didn't know this, but FineFine also has another type of headset out there that you can take a look at right here, okay? This is the H18v Lite. This here is the USB gaming headset H18BP. And one of the big differences between this here is that, of course, one is an open back, one is a closed back. The H18v Lite has a 53 millimeter driver size, while the USB one here only has 50. But of course, this one here is only USB, while this one here is either 3.5 mil or USB. So that extra flexibility that the H18v Lite actually gives you with that, again, the option to be either USB or 3.5 mil, that gives it a big leg up there if you ask me. Now, the fact that these are an open back headset that will allow a little bit more outside sound to bleed in, but in my experience, though, wearing them, it's not a big distraction. Of course, I can hear my fan a little bit louder, I can hear my air conditioner a little bit louder, or any kind of noise in my office here at home. It does seep through, but if I'm gaming or if I'm editing or doing something like this here, it's not an overall distraction, you know what I mean? Now, this is just a total personal note here, okay? I am finding that the EQ on the headset itself, like for the actual drivers, I actually like the way Fine set this up out of the box. I do find them to be a little bit bass heavy, but in my opinion, though, that actually can be a good thing, especially if you are a gamer. You know, for example, right now I'm playing the brand new Modern Warfare beta. I actually bought it, and I am enjoying it. I thoroughly am enjoying it. And the fact that this headset is a little bit more bassy than what I'm used to with my main set of headsets here, I'm actually noticing that I am hearing footsteps a little bit easier than what I'm hearing them in my other main, way more expensive headset. So that's actually kind of a plus. And at least to my ears, the way these here sound, again, they're kind of bass heavy. It sounds to me like they also scooped out some of the mids and they kind of boosted the highs just a little bit, but they didn't boost the highs enough to where it sounds too airy or like you're listening from a cheap set of like dollar store headphones, you know what I mean? Like they sound very well rounded, and it's actually a way I prefer to EQ my own headsets as well. So it's not bad. Now, folks, this next point here for about how comfortable that these things are, everybody's head shape is different, so these things are comfortable on me. They might not be for you, so keep that there in mind. But in my own personal experience here, folks, these things are very comfortable. I've worn them off stream to just game for a few hours here and there, and they're comfortable. They don't squeeze my head too hard. They actually stay on my head with no problem, even with some violent shakes like this here. Like, they're very, very, very stable on my head. They feel very well balanced. And I'm not going to lie here, folks, I was a little concerned about how the ear cushion foam felt. But again, after wearing them for a few hours at a time here, sitting here either editing or gaming, plenty of cushion. They don't hurt my ears. They actually fully go over my ears, as over-the-ear headphones should, because it's in the name, over-the-ear headphones. Like, there are some out there that the foam padding is so thick, the brochure might say over-the-ear headphones, but the foam is so thick, it actually goes on top of your ear instead of over them. You know what I mean? So the fact that these truly are over-the-ear headphones, it makes them way more comfortable. But folks, as much as I like these things, I'm not going to let Fine off the hook with some basic creature comforts here, okay? Fine. I do like these. I do recommend them. But maybe for a Mark II, I would love to see a headphone volume slider on the headphone itself, or at minimum, maybe if somebody doesn't want to use the USB connector because they already have their own mixer or something like that, why not throw this in the box along with just a 3.5 millimeter extension cable that has a volume slider in line? So that way there, I can go ahead and just reach up here on the line itself and adjust the volume instead of going over to my mixer mid-game and adjusting my headset volume that way. Or if you want, you could just keep it only on the USB side, but maybe just have a volume rocker on the side of the headset for the headphone volume. Now, for my setup, because I have an expensive mixer that has hardware dials and hardware knobs and controls for all the volume, I can control these via my Stream Deck Plus. But for somebody out there that might just be getting into this sort of thing and not having that hardware inline volume, they might have to use Windows volume sliders, and that can be kind of cumbersome whenever you're in the middle of a game or something, you know what I mean? Just think about that for like a version 2 or something, okay? All right, everybody, so here, look, folks, at the end of the day, do I actually recommend the Fine H18v Lite? Yes, I do. Just keep in mind here, though, okay, folks, if you're somebody like me that has an audio interface of some kind, that whenever you plug it in via 3.5 millimeter input, you are actually losing, once again, the inline volume control for the headset. But again, if you have an audio interface, there should be some kind of physical hardware control for your headset volume, so that technically shouldn't be a big deal. But I truly do believe that Fine wants people to use this thing via the USB interface, and honestly, I can see why. So that way there, you can actually interface directly with their Fine Genie software directly via USB, and that way you can control all aspects of the microphone and headset via software on your PC, and that includes the noise suppression, any kind of EQ that you might want to apply to their microphone here, and that way there it's all interfaced through your PC via USB. You don't got to worry about any other software. And if you're a beginner at this kind of thing, maybe this is your first type of headset microphone combo that has software involved, it's easy enough that I think anybody could pick it up, so that way there it's not too overly complicated. And besides, via USB, again, you have actual hardware physical controls here for the 7.1 surround sound, the built-in mic noise cancellation feature. On this side here you have the rocker for the headphone volume knob, you have the rocker here for the microphone volume, and then of course my personal favorite, y'all, the hardware button for a microphone mute. Again, just hardware buttons for all the software features you have from the Fine Genie software. And as I said in my little segment there whenever I was testing out the microphone, I actually didn't think that the microphone itself, without any kind of noise suppression enabled at all, would be able to reject all that white noise I had going, again, full blast from my phone speakers the way it did, but it actually rejected quite a bit of it, and I'm honestly kind of impressed by it. And then whenever I did enable the noise suppression, as you heard a minute ago, it didn't actually cut my voice out too much. It didn't make me sound robotic or anything like that, because a lot of that AI powered, noise suppression, noise cancellation, whatever you want to call it, it sort of kind of has a tendency sometimes to make the person who's talking sound like a robot. But at least to my ears, this didn't, so that's pretty darn good. But again though, folks, that was like worst case scenario. Like, you will probably never have any kind of loud noise up to your microphone like that ever. So again, worst case scenario at best. But I did say this at the beginning of the video, but I just wanted to stress this here again to you all. Huge shout out to my good friends over at Fine for sending me out this incredible microphone headphone combo. But everybody out there in YouTube comment land, what do you guys and gals think? How does the microphone sound? I know you can't really tell how the headphones sound on my head, but hopefully y'all take my word for it. Do me a favor, it's not an affiliate link at all. It's going to just be a link straight to their website. If you want to find out more information about the H18v Lite, click the link in the pinned comment below. Again, it is not an affiliate link, just a direct link to the product page. Thanks a lot for stopping by though, everybody. Catch you guys and gals in the next one.